we'll play around with a squat today. We'll play with different squats. So we're live there on YouTube, Facebook. Let's click Instagram. We should be going live on Instagram. We're live on Instagram. I think the Wi-Fi is a little bit faster here than it was at the other place, which is good. You watch, I'll say that and it'll all cut out, won't it? So welcome if you're joining this morning on the socials, on social media. Wednesdays, we always focus a little bit more on movement. And this week, we're going to focus on squatting. And we're going to start next Monday on a 7-day squat challenge. So if you're in the community, if you're in the wellness innovation community, in the core members, you will get emails, you'll get details about that. If you're not and you want to join the squat challenge, just email me or send me a message on Instagram, send me a message on Facebook, and then we can add you to the email list and add you to the squat challenge. So we'll start off with a little bit of shaking in the shoulders, move, shaking the wrists, gentle movement through the legs, breathing easy. So we'll always start with a little bit of mobilization, a little bit of stretching, and then we'll just play around with some different squats today. We can do a little bit of cleansing and clearing with the breath. So taking a breath in and letting that breath go. Let's do that again. Breath in and let that breath go. When we do that exhale, and you can do it through the nose if you want to. If we're doing it through the mouth, just think of it as really relaxing all the breathing muscles. So we're taking that fuller breath in, so you're expanding the rib cage, and then you're just letting go. And that longer, slightly longer exhale is going to just help to keep that heart rate balanced. So let's do one more breath in and let go. And then just slowing it down, slowing it down, slowing it down. Let's just stand with palms facing the ground and just letting the breath settle. And then moving into knocking. So again, keep it easy, soft through the knee, through the ankle. Let me just change my glasses. I wondered why I couldn't see properly. I had the wrong glasses on there. That's better. Keep tall through the spine. A slight variation now on this is as we're rotating, just shift and lift the heel of the leg you're rotating away from. That makes sense. Just watch what I'm doing. Heel just lifts, so you just have a little bit of weight shift to the opposite side. Still keep the ball of the foot connected to the ground. Keep tall through the spine. Breathing easy in and out through the nose. Slow it down now. Just go back to both feet on the ground, slowing down into water waves. Water waves, get that rotation through the wrists, through the fingers, through the wrists, through the elbows. Smooth, slow, 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 slow. Remember to work behind you as well. So I'm just going to whiz around. So when you go working behind you, scooping behind you, rotating behind as well. So you get that spiral going through the shoulders, elbows. And then have a little shake out. Back to shoulder width with the feet. Let's do dog wags the tail. Remember, pelvis stays parallel to the ground and the spine ripples on top of the pelvis. So again, you're shifting the weight, you're pushing into the ground with the feet. Make sure you're not clawing with the toes or anything, but using the ground. And if you're doing these movements every day, you'll notice that some days, oh, it feels a little bit stiffer, other days it's a little bit freer. And then you can work out, what was I doing yesterday? Did I do a long run? Did I do a long walk? Did I sit watching TV all day? How's it affecting your body, your spine? All of this, face is relaxed and you're just breathing easy in and out through your nose. Shake out. Let's do shoulder rolls. So lifting and rolling back. Let's breathe with that as well. So breath in, calm through the nose. Breath out. Using the spine as well. So using the whole body, softening into the knees, softening into the feet. Smooth, no rush. Think of it as oiling the joints. Change direction. You can feel a bit weird moving them forwards and down if that's the direction we're going in now. And then shake out. Let's do that little bit of a stretch now. Think of this as joint loosening, mobilization. Now we're going to stretch the arms, palms facing each other. Really stretch out the fingers. Fingers are pointing towards the sky. The thumbs are pointing towards you. So you're really stretching all that fascia, ligaments, tendons in the fingers. And then the elbows flow up. As the elbows flow up, you stretch the palms down or the hands down. So you go into that dive position, you dive down. Really stretch with that spiral here. Spiral, 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 spiral. Elbows come to shoulder height again. Palms together, palms down. Every single part of this movement wants to feel like a nice lengthening out of all of the fascia, muscles, ligaments, and tendons in the arms. But if anything hurts, don't force it. And again, just watch the breath. You should just be breathing easily in and out through the nose. If you're holding the breath, pushing too hard, breathe easily in and out through the nose. For me, I really like all of this, but that spiral bit at the bottom makes a big difference. Spiral at the bottom. And then we're going to change direction whenever you're ready. Pushing out. And then shake out. Shake out the shoulders, shake out the arms, shake out the legs. And then let's go slightly wider than shoulder width apart. Slight turn out on the feet. We're going to do our hip circles. So big hip circles. Remember, when you're bringing the hips forwards, just a little bit of a lift there at the sternum. And then you can change direction. And shake out. Let's come to balance in the feet. So we'll stabilize on one side. If I'm mirroring you, we're stabilizing on the right, I think. And then we just bring that left leg forwards and we'll do point and flex. If you need to hold on to something, please do hold on to something, or you've got your imaginary tigers each side of you. Just point and flex. So again, stretching through the ankle, you'll feel the calf. Again, breathing, not holding the breath. And then let's do big circles, stretching out the toes as much as possible. And then change direction. And shake out. And then just see what that feels like. That foot that you've just worked on, how does that feel as you're connected to the ground? Letting your breath settle. And then we'll do the opposite side, balance. Got a nice click there. Interestingly, this calf feels a little bit tighter than it normally does. All of these little things you can just tune into, noticing, not judging, just noticing. And then circles. Spreading the toes, breathing easy. Other direction. and shake out. So starting on Monday, we're going to do the 7-day squat challenge. And remember, there's all different ways of squatting, and I really want to stay away from that idea of doing an exercise. So it's not about counting, it's not about numbers, it's not about perfecting an perfect technique, because we're squatting all day long. So it's just bearing in mind when you're going to sit in a chair or when you're getting up out of a chair, the movement, how it feels, how you're doing it, is the different ways that you can do it. But let's just play around with a few simple squats. We've done this loads of times before. We know the tiger. This is one of my favorite ones because it just gives us that little bit of an intention of why we're doing a movement. So tiger, you've got your claws, tiger claws. Notice the minute you create that tension, good tension in the fingers, that creates that strength in the back. So we've got our feet about shoulder width apart, slight turn out. Imagine you're sitting back. So you're sitting back onto a chair, keep the chest lifted and just go as comfortably far as you can, slowly. And then you slowly come back up. And if you have any pain in your knees, in your hips, in the joints, that's going to tell you to stop. And if the breathing changes, you've most probably gone a little bit too far for this moment in time. So if we can breathe easy in and out through the nose. Now, you don't have to necessarily breathe with the movement, but just keep that breath easy in and out through the nose. And if you do breathe with the movement, that's absolutely fine. And what we've been practicing, or what we've been doing in recent sessions, is just doing that isometric hold position. So we'll just take a rest for a minute, come to the top, take a rest. And then we'll play around with the hold positions, which are good again for strengthening. So breath settles. And then we'll just go into like a quarter squat. So going down into a quarter squat and then stay there. Make sure you're breathing in and out through the nose. Now, everybody's going to be different on this. So when you maybe notice the breath changing, or you want to hold the breath, or your legs start shaking and it starts to feel a little bit overloading the nervous system, just come up to standing. So we just go to that point where you feel you get into the edge, and then you come up to standing. So you can challenge yourself a little bit, but we don't want to push it that it's like, I'm forcing it, I'm holding this position, I'm holding my breath. It doesn't want to be anything like that, because that's not going to be as beneficial as going to that point where you can stay relaxed, calm in the mind, calm in the breath. When we've done that one, let's go a little bit lower. So let's maybe go to a half position. And again, everybody's going to be different on this. Remember, you're sitting back, breathing, relax the face, keep the chest lifted, breathing, breathing, breathing. Maybe relax the shoulders. If you need to move around a little bit, move around a little bit. It's not big, you don't have to be rigid. You'll start to feel your legs going, whoa, this is interesting. Keep breathing, breathing. It's not about time. Follow the breath. Follow the breath. Breathing easy in and out through the nose. Nobody on Zoom wants to go, oh, I need to stand up. You can stand up and shake out. traditionally, I say traditionally, that's most probably the wrong word to use, but what you will normally do when you do these sort of like hold a plank is you go, right, let's go for 30 seconds. So you'll get to 20 seconds and you go, yeah, I can breathe. And then for that last bit, you'll just hold everything and you'll hold the breath. That's not what we're doing here. I want you to follow the breath, because in the long run, you're going to be able to go longer by following the breath, because you're going to build up that disconnect, if you like, between the mind thinking this is horrible and the body really challenging itself. Let's go a little bit. It's amazing how warm you get doing this as well, because suddenly you start to feel all of that heat generated. Let's go a little bit lower. Again, you don't have to go right to the ground, just go to most probably the edge of your comfortable depth, and then holding that position. Breathing, relaxing the face. Think about the mind is relaxed. The mind is telling the body, yeah, you can challenge yourself, but we're safe. Mind is relaxed. Breathing is calm, easy. And then when you're ready, slowly. And again, you'll notice the difference. I did most probably a very slow but a long run on Sunday. I could, even today, I can feel that in my hips at that point there in that lower squat. So again, it's not pushing, it's not forcing. The key is we don't want to overload either the nervous system or the musculoskeletal system. You can challenge yourself, you can push to the edge, but we don't want to overload the system, because that's when injury happens and when it just gets so painful that it's horrible and we all give up. Have a little shake out. Let's do a little bit of a bouncing. So let's do a little bit of a tapping of the heels into the ground. And you'll feel that vibration through the body. Again, if you want to do a couple of cleansing and clearing breaths, it just releases any tightness and tension in the diaphragm, in the rib cage. You can take a full breath in and a little pause at the top and let go. And then slow it down, slow it down, slow it down, slow it down. Let's just stand for a minute. Let's open our palms, shoulders, palms facing forwards. Now just a couple more squats that we can play with. When you are going to sit onto a chair, you don't necessarily go, oh, I'm going to take my feet shoulder width apart, slightly turned out a little bit, and sit. So what you might play around with is, let's go a little bit narrower on the stance, and let's have our feet pointing forwards, and then feel how different, or the range of motion you've got is less maybe when you're in that position. So let's just do a squat in that position. So you're just taking the hips back. You want to do tiger again, you can do tiger. What is nice about that is it keeps that upper body engaged. Or you could do palms out. It's another one you could do. So what I like about the tiger is it just creates that engagement a little bit more into the back. Or you could do, I think Gillian was doing there, you could just do like a hold. Play around with this. All of these different things you'll find, you don't have to just do what I'm telling you or suggesting you to do. Find different ways of doing things. Do that. Let's do a hold again. Actually, I'm going to do this position. I quite like that position. And let's go to maybe a quarter, maybe a half. And again, just hold a position. Make sure you're not clenching your fist. Hold a position. Breathing. Notice where the weight is. Can you shift the weight slightly forward, slightly back without hurting anything? Keep that chest lifted, keep the chest open. And then when you're ready, slowly come up to standing. Again, you might feel that warmth as you've done that. Have a little bit of a shake out. And then you've got also what you can play around with is not necessarily a one-legged squat. You can if you want to, but the split squat is a nice one to do. So where you balance on that front leg, take the back leg. So you can either do this where you take the back leg out and you're almost doing that type of position, or you can go parallel. So I'll show you there, you can go parallel. So you're just dropping down. So it's not quite going into that full lunge. You're just doing sort of like that little split squat. So let's just have a little play with that. So 1 foot forwards, 1 foot back, tall through the spine. If you want to use tiger again. And if you're parallel, you've got that weight sort of like evenly balanced front foot, back foot. It's quite nice because it gives you that little bit of drive from that back leg as well. On this next one, let's just do a little hold and breathe. Make sure this back glute is engaged, keeps that body tall. Breathing, 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 breathing. Come up to standing. Swap sides. Your legs are going to be working after this morning session. Who's going for a run now? So same thing. And on the fourth one, we'll just do that little hold. Breathing. Hold the position. Make sure this back leg is working as well. The ball of that back foot is into the ground. Balancing, breathing. And then slowly coming up to standing. And having a good shake out. Shake out the legs. Let's have another shake, 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 shake. Breathing in. Breathing out. Let's do one more. Give you a couple of moments bamboo in the wind. I know it's 8:30, but if you've got a little bit more time just to do a little bit of bamboo in the wind. So you've got your feet together, eyes closed, and just letting the body gently rock and sway. And then taking a calm breath in through the nose. Opening your eyes, stepping out, a bit of a brush down. And thank you for joining in. So Monday, we will start the squat challenge. If you're on Zoom, if you're in the core membership, If you're on my mailing list, you get emails about that. If you're not on the mailing list and you want to join, just send me a direct message, send me a text message, pop a message here on Instagram or on Facebook or YouTube, and then I can send you details. You can jump into the challenge. But I'll remind you again on Monday morning, because we will on Monday morning be having the session on the more breath focused session. And if you're around on Saturday and you're a core member, then we've got our flow session. I can't say that. Flow session on Saturday at 10 o'clock. And I know some of you have already registered for that. So I look forward to seeing you on Saturday. If I don't see you on Saturday, I'll see you on Monday. And thank you for joining. Have a great rest of your day. Hope your legs don't ache too much. Take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.